It's been 7 years since President Barack Obama took office. In that time, the United States has accumulated the largest national debt in its history. The fewest number of adults are working since Jimmy Carter's presidency, and the executive branch has expanded its power immensely. The President has chosen which laws to enforce and created new ones without Congress's approval. Last week, we saw another example of the President's immense power grab. President Obama's gun control executive order, which bypasses the lawmaking body of our government, would not have stopped any of the horrible tragedies that he so shamelessly uses to promote his anti-gun agenda. Our President is more interested in protecting the constitutional rights of radical Islamic extremists at Gitmo rather than the rights of American citizens. But ultimately, the Obama administration will have to come to Congress to get funding for its proposals. I will not sit back and let this President punish law-abiding gun owners for practicing their Second Amendment right. Instead of creating new laws, the executive branch should practice its responsibility of enforcing the laws already on the books. This includes reuniting illegal aliens with their families back in their native countries. Last month, the Department of Health and Human Services informed my office that Fort Hood was being considered a location to house unaccompanied alien children. I urged the President that this was not in the best interest of the U.S. national security. Fortunately, we were informed that the Great Place would remain a training ground for our soldiers and not be turned into a daycare center. While I sympathize with these children, we are a nation of laws, and these laws must be upheld. We are a nation of immigrants, but we are a nation of legal immigrants. If they wish to realize the American dream, they must follow the laws as generations of future Americans did before them. On the domestic and international front, our nation is in turmoil. Our friends no longer trust us, and our enemies no longer fear us. During his presidency, President Obama has turned dangerous campaign promises into unbelievably disastrous realities. His promise of troop withdrawals have left the Middle East in shambles. Ground gained in Iraq has fallen into the hands of radical Islamic extremists. The Taliban is again making its mark in Afghanistan. Syria is a war zone, and Russia's recent involvement has sparked tensions not seen since the Cold War. Then there's Iran, a nation we trusted before we could verify. ISIS has expanded to Europe and influenced attacks on our homeland. Our President, however, is good at one thing: spinning the truths to the American people. When the public sees beyond his lies, President Obama blames his staff for not doing a better job at transforming his liberal big government failures into success stories. Instead of addressing the financial disaster he has put us in, our President pats himself on the back for overspending a little less than he did the year before. Never mind empowering America's greatest asset, its workers. When reporters ask him about the lowest labor participation rate since the 1970s, President Obama says it's a good thing that people don't have to work. I don't share the President's optimism. The state of our nation is grim. We need to strengthen our military, protect our borders, and restore the American dream, all things that President Obama has failed to do. Thank you for your time, and may God bless all of you.